Hello everyone, it's Claire. I hope you're all doing well. So I was listening to something earlier and someone was talking about being in their 40s and going through kind of a midlife crisis. So I talked about the happiness curve a couple of years ago. I did a video on it and I got a lot of great feedback, and this comment just reminded me about the happiness curve, so I thought I would bring it up again for anyone who missed it the first time. So, and I know a lot of you guys are in your 40s. So the happiness curve is this U-shaped curve that when you're in your, and was based on tons of research that people did over, and I wound up doing a report on this a couple of years ago. I don't remember all the facts, but researchers followed people, throughout their life and came up with all of this data. And I'm sure that you'll find, even without the data, you can probably relate to some of this or thinking this is true. So starting in your 20s, we're at the top of a curve. So, we've just graduated college probably, we have new jobs, we're making some money, we may be out on our own, we're feeling independent, and it just feels like our future is bright and open and we're optimistic and excited about our future. Then we get into our 30s and we start to head a little bit down the curve. We start having more responsibility. We are tied down maybe. We're getting married and we're, spending money to buy a house, buy a car. We're starting to have kids and we're having more financial responsibility, and then just more responsibility with our time, with our kids and our family and all these things that we need to do. Then we get into our 40s, and this is actually the midlife crisis time, and our 40s are at the bottom of the curve. So we start to become disillusioned, and we start to think, is this all there is? And if we're successful, we think that things that we thought were going to make us happy haven't really made us happy. Like we might be successful in our careers or making good money, but we just don't feel totally fulfilled. If we're mothers who have stayed home with the kids, now the kids are getting a little older and we're looking to do something with our lives that will make us feel fulfilling now that the kids aren't around. And we may start to question choices we've made, whether it's about the career we got into, things we stopped doing, and we contemplate starting all over again. But this is also scary to start all over again all the way in our 40s when we may have been doing something for 20 years and we feel like we should be farther along. A lot of people get divorced in their 40s. Our parents become sick or dying and we have health issues to deal with them. And we just start to become, disappointed and pessimistic. All right, so this is our 40s, we're at the bottom. So the good news is we're gonna head back up the curve. So in our 50s, our careers peak, and our responsibilities actually diminish, right? So either we're managing a lot of people and we can push some stuff off, and at home, our kids hopefully have left the house and either, they're in college or out of college and hopefully are starting to take care of their own finances. So we have less financial responsibility, the kids are out of the house. And we start to mellow out and think about what's really going to be meaningful to us. And we actually become less materialistic because we start to realize that it's those materialistic things are not really as important as we once thought they were, or did not bring us the joy that we imagined they would. And we start to focus more on social connection rather than social competition with people. We're looking more to connect with people and have relationships with them. And we start to look back and think, my life was pretty good. Rather than when we're back in there and we're, challenged by it all and going through it, we look back and start to appreciate it. And so what was surprising actually to these researchers is the top of the curve is your 60s and 70s. And those people where you might have thought, oh, they're getting older, they're not going to be as happy, these people are the happiest. And people in their 60s and 70s, they're prioritizing things that really matter to them. And they're focusing on things that bring them real fulfillment, like traveling, hobbies. They're focusing on connections and, socializing with friends and, maybe seeing their kids and grandkids and spending times with them and doing things that they really enjoy. So the good thing about this is to keep in mind that if you're in your 40s and struggling with all this, that, may make you feel better to know that this is kind of a natural thing and everyone's going through this. But what can you do to feel better now? So some things you could think about are starting to focus on things that those people older than us in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are focusing on, right? So imagine your perfect day from the very beginning all the way through your day. What would that entail? And what can you do now to try and bring some of that to your day? And then you can also think about, so in 20 years, you're going to be in that group in your 60s and 70s, right? So where do you want to be? What do you think in 20 years you're going to be doing? What do you think that you're going to find fulfilling and be concentrating on and spending your time doing? So again, can you do some of that now? And what can you do now to set yourself up to get you there in your 60s and 70s, or to get you there even earlier in your 50s? Be thinking about those social connections, be laying the groundwork for doing things that make you feel fulfilled rather than materialistic things, and making you feel like you're making connections rather than competition with people, focusing on, you and your family's health and happiness rather than maybe chasing the next promotion or getting stressed out about, things you're doing with the schools or volunteer, whatever it is today. Look to that future you and think about what you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know a lot of people found this interesting and something to, help when you think about these things and think about your future. You can use that information about yourself and what you want to help your decision-making process now. So I hope that helps you guys. I would love to hear any comments that you have below, and have a great rest of the week. I'll talk to you again soon.